Fresh cause I was freeze up, fresh out of the deeper freezer, cause I'm deeper than any voice on speakers. I can't hear y'all haters, you gotta speak up. I don't need to slow down, I need to speak up. Anonymous activity, Bobby B stuff. Jealousy's a key master motion, and ease up. Fresh out of the freezer. Fresh cause I was freeze up, fresh out of the deeper freezer, cause I'm deeper than any voice on speakers. I can't hear y'all haters, you gotta speak up. I don't need to slow down, I need to speak up. Anonymous activity, Bobby B stuff. Jealousy's a key master motion, and ease up. Fresh out of the freezer.
Welcome. Y'all know about me and the ice. Don't start with me. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't been here. I know Wednesday is usually our day. I and Dude Dynamic was here, so we can't blame him because he was here on time and he was ready, and my joint wasn't. Y'all know I'm getting old. I ain't say old yet. Damn it, hold that thought. But he was here, and we weren't able to connect yesterday at the time specified for him. So he did come back today on time and even earlier than he's supposed to be here. So y'all know how I am. I like to welcome our guests. And of course, again, welcome to the stage. Dude Dynamic in the building. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. I'm sorry about my computer. I don't know what's going on. You know, when we did the
Hey, man, it's all
diagnostics.
love. It's
Yeah,
all
bro.
love, man. It's
It
all
it,
love.
it says something wrong with the camera. I like what's wrong with
Yeah.
the camera? So okay. I
No, I
pulled
was
that.
able to catch some of your energy yesterday, so I was like, nah, man, we can go ahead and put it right back on the calendar for tomorrow, let's make it work.
Yeah,
So
welcome. I'm glad to have you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
appreciate you. Appreciate you for having me.
Okay, now I don't know if you know how this show go. I ask five, give or take 8 questions because some of them are doubled up.
Okay.
Um, specifically tailored to you. And I should have asked that beforehand because I was assuming that you were Afrobeats artist, but you are not an Afrobeats artist.
No, no, no. I'm hip hop. I'm a hip hop artist.
Can you explain to us what you do?
Yes, I can. So I make positive, um, authentic, like it's like hip hop that is essential, right? Like the storytelling of it all. I'm one of those types of artists. So a lot of what you'll hear when you listen to my music is me telling my story, whether it's over a boom bap beat, it could be, a club turned up beat. I got a song called For the Club, but it's me telling like a real life story. It's a little bit raunchy, but it's a real life story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And all the way to like like different pocket, the single that I got now, like the single that I'm pushing right now, it's a lot more commercial, but at its core it's me telling my story and trying to inspire people that look like me, that come from like situations that I come from, that
Yeah.
they can do anything they put their mind to, man. It's all a matter of the mind.
So tell them a little bit about your story so that they can understand why you say people like you.
Yeah, man. So, we talked a little bit before, Tash. I was born and raised in a small town, country town, by the name of Cordell, Georgia. The most underprivileged town in Georgia. So,
Yeah.
probably like 11,000 people there. Got a couple of traffic stops, traffic lights, stop signs. You blink, you'll miss it. You ride down 75, you blink, you'll miss it. One of those type towns, right?
A 4 horse
Um,
town.
right, right, right. So, I was my mom, she was in the military. She had me very young. She had me at like 15.
Yeah.
Her and my dad, they were in high school when they had me. So, kids, right? And my mom had she had my sister, her second child, and there were like some birth complications. She ended up losing her life.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, it wasn't during like, the birth. It was like a couple weeks after, but
Yeah.
it was due to complications of the birth. So, um, lost her when I was 6, and my grandparents ended up adopting me, and we didn't really have much, like I
Yeah.
said, very underprivileged town. I grew up in the church, um, and I just always wanted to be different, and that's what I was telling you before as well. Like it was my drive to be different that has, led me to be where I am in my life today.
Yeah.
I was able to get a college degree from a PWI. I'm again just I don't know left from right. By the time I'm 17,
Yeah.
18, I use sports as a vehicle. I was able to get a football scholarship to play defensive back at a D1 school at
Yeah.
Mercer University. Played there for 5 years. Got my master's. Got my bachelor's first. Then I got my master's.
What
Um,
position?
I played safety. I played
Okay.
safety.
I'm
Yeah,
just checking.
yeah, no, I was fast, I was
Uh-huh.
fast. I could hit a little bit. I was talking to my buddies the other day, like we're all from Cordell, and we ended up getting scholarships to play football. And we all loved basketball at first, right? But it was
Yeah.
football that ultimately did it for us. But we were just talking about how like you really have to be a crazy person to play football. Like
Yeah.
you gotta be outside of your mind because of the level of physicality it takes to the amount of times you put your body on the line. Like you really have to go to a different place. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was at
Look at
go ahead.
Look at Mr. Brown's eyes right now. You
Who are
know,
you talking about? Who you talking about?
Antonio Brown. I
Oh
be trying
yeah.
to tell people, look at his eyes. Y'all think that he's all right. He's not. Look at his eyes.
Mm,
He been
yeah, I
hit
never
too
even thought
many
about it.
times. He been
Yeah,
hit
man.
too many times.
Yeah,
You see
it's a
his
train
eyes? His eyes is like this. They blank. He
it's
just
a
staring
car
out. Yeah.
it's a car accident every play.
Yeah.
Every play, every time somebody's hit, it's like a head-on-head collision. Yeah, it's a dangerous sport, but
I-
I'm thankful that I was able to use that to again get an education. And they paid for my master's as well, so moved up to Atlanta after that,
yeah.
and I'm here now. But it's by the grace of God. We talked about fate too a little bit before. It was by the grace of God that I was able to make it out of a situation like that. I had
Amen.
every reason to crash out. I had every reason to be that dummy talking about sliding on ops and killing people that look like him.
Yeah.
But I just again wanted to be different, and I want to be able to use my story the way I do, continue to use it to inspire people. Like you really can. It's all up to you, man. I could have stopped a long time
Yeah.
ago, but it's all up to you. And at the end of the day, you control the narrative. You control your story and how it's written.
Yeah. Absolutely. See, I
Yep.
got the whole. I got the opposite story of uh not sliding on the op. You know,
Exactly. And you ain't
having
gotta be like that to be cool.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can
I
be
got the
yourself
opposite.
and be
Yeah,
cool. Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. I had the opposite story of, they. I come from, like I was telling you, the murder capital of New York State,
hmm
and everybody want to hurt somebody. You feel what I'm saying? So it,
Yep.
it it take a lot for you to have to walk away from that. It take a lot.
Yes, it really does.
You know what I'm saying? So that what that requires is a mastering of your temperance.
Mm,
You feel
that's
me?
real. That's real.
And,
So
and
real.
but you can't do that without God.
You can't. You can't. Yeah, that emotional intelligence is critical. That and pride. I feel like that's like one of the biggest killers in the black community, from what I've seen in my experience. Just not being able to let stuff slide. Like you got like we take everything personal, and we don't have enough empathy to understand that whatever somebody may have been going through that day is really what led them to say something funny or crash out on you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
or or
yeah,
or, make you try to make you feel bad with words. Like it's
yeah,
never really that person that's doing that. It's what they going through that's making them feel like they gotta say what they gotta say, or
Hmm.
just how they was raised or whatever you want to call it. Like, but just being able to see past the moment and like look at like what you want. And that starts with setting goals, right? Like we don't really set goals, at least from where I'm from. I don't see a lot of people. I didn't see a lot of people setting goals. And so that's why it's so easy to get caught up in the moment because you only see right now.
You have to remember, and then I'm gonna start the questions. But you have to remember that, like for people like me, I'm just right out of the civil rights movement.
Mm,
So there was no such thing as setting goals for about 30 of those years outside of the civil rights movement, right? And that's because you never know if you're going to live or die.
fair enough.
You get what I'm saying? So
That's
with
fair.
a lot of the elders, you get what I'm saying? Like they're coming from
Hmm.
a shock type of situation. So there was no looking to the future because future wasn't really guaranteed for us. It was guaranteed for y'all.
Hmm. That's real.
You
That's real.
you get what I'm saying? And
Yeah, yeah.
so that's what I try to explain even to my children, who is by the
Mm,
way waving on the screen. Hi, Miss Jamie P. She one of my favorite supporters, my daughter.
okay.
She's
Jamie
waving
P.
at you. She's screaming at everybody that come through. But yeah, that's where the promise was. It wasn't really for us, but it was for y'all.
Mm,
So that's why we you see the elders like myself, and I say elder now because I'm at the age of being elder.
mm,
I just look real young. You get what I'm saying? But for the most part, that promised land was really for the 30 to 40-year olds, the 40 to
mm,
1-year olds. That the promise is for y'all because it wasn't really for us.
mm. I never thought about it like that. That makes sense. It makes sense.
We still had to struggle through.
Yeah, no, for
And
sure. And I definitely saw, I saw my grandparents struggle, but that was like all of the motivation I needed too, right? Like
yeah,
my granddad went like from having a second grade education to being the head of the sanitation director of the sanitation department of
that's right.
Cordell.
That's right.
Like he went from being on the back of the truck to, being the guy in charge, like the head guy.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
spaces where he couldn't even be.
right, like really, really creating Black history. And so that was like, one of those drivers for me. Like, if this man can do that on a second grade education, I can do anything.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
do it. I can do anything. This man, they really didn't know if they was gonna make it.
Yeah,
Coming from, like you said, civil rights times, being born in the 30s and living through all of that.
that's right. That's right.
Like,
I was ingested. I was in the womb, or being created at the
hmm
time that Martin got shot.
and
You feel me? So
yeah,
imagine what my senses is like
mm,
at all times from being in that from imagine what my senses is like. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like I feel
yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
People
That's
don't
crazy to think
recognize.
about.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So, our our generation was to keep y'all safe. That's all we thrived on because
Yep.
our parents was hurt.
Mm. Nah, for real. That's so true, man. And I think about it because like a lot of my aunts and my uncles, like since their parents raised me, I look at them as like siblings,
Yeah, that's
So
right.
it really they tell me the stories of like, how their upbringing was like completely different from mine, you
Hmm.
know?
Excuse
Like,
me. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He didn't like my granddad, he didn't spare the rod at all, you know what I mean? Like, and so I feel like a lot of that can be attributed to like what you're saying, just like what we had to go through as people. And being on the other side of that, you want your kids to you want to be able to put your kids in the best situation possible, but you don't necessarily know how to do that without, being harsh or whatever. So no, I
Yeah.
definitely get that.
and to keep y'all safe. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of
Right.
times,
Mm-hmm.
you don't realize that your parents are trying to keep you safe. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the dude stabbed in the heart in the elevator, and you know, the
Yeah.
recent, you get what I'm saying? We was trying to
Yeah.
keep y'all safe. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
No, that's
look, we
real.
warning y'all already. Got like Emmett Till already been through this. Like, there's a prime big example of
Mm.
this right here on camera, and his mommy put the bashing of him up on live TV so that y'all could see what take place if you journey over that way.
Mm.
And we kept, warning and warning. And so then, Tiger Woods got hit, and then so and so Bill Cosby, and then, and then now Diddy, and I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm you know,
No, I got you. I got you. I got
and how they sit them right in the aisle, right up on the front row at every NBA and every
you. Mm.
NFL. They be sitting right up there just as pretty and feminine like y'all like it, you know.
Crazy time, man.
I'm
Crazy
just
time.
saying, I'm trying to explain because you've been there. So you know I'm
Yeah.
saying what I'm saying, what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
sit them right there to rob y'all back because we going to give y'all this 20, but we going to take 10, 15 of that back on the way out the door, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Because we done sat one of our ops right there in your lap real quick. And now she got some chilling. And we going to always side with ours, like, regardless of what the fuck y'all talking about.
That's facts. That's
We gonna,
facts. No matter what. No matter what.
I'm just saying, so
Yep.
us knowing that that wasn't just but a second ago, but y'all don't know that it wasn't but just a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
But we know.
No, that's real.
That wasn't but just a second ago, because if you try and call me old as I just told you I'm older.
Mm-hmm. No, that's real.
You feel
It
me?
took it was probably like maybe a year or two ago where I was like really thinking like, bro, we really not that far removed from the civil
No,
rights movement, bro.
no,
Bro, it
no,
ain't even been 70 years.
no, not at all.
It ain't even been 70. Like Martin got
It
killed
ain't
in
even been
69, right?
it ain't even been 60 years.
Martin got killed in 69, right? It was like March
68. Yeah.
68. Like, bro, what are
It,
we talking, bro? It ain't
I'm
even been
trying to
40 years.
no.
Oh
You
no,
feel
60,
me?
60, yeah, 60, yeah, 60. It ain't even been 60. Man,
So
that's
you
crazy.
understand me?
Yep.
And ain't nothing really changed. Like y'all think it's changed, but now
No, they
they
just hide it better.
families,
They just hide it better.
yeah, they
That's
families
all.
is showing y'all this they family. This they people. Like they would be your
Mm-hmm.
people like me, like be your people. These they
Mm-hmm.
people. Same
Right.
age group.
Right. Right. Yep.
You feel me?
Yep.
So when I like this, I'm doing stuff like this for y'all to be able to get around some of all the madness.
Facts.
And like it's almost like a arrow straight to the spot, boom.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, you clearing out the way.
Yeah, like y'all
Yeah,
come on, like listen to what I'm
yep.
saying, cause
Yep. You can go straight through here. I just
y'all
gotta pave it. I gotta pave it out for you though. You can go straight. You ain't gotta go around here,
nah,
there.
cause
Like
over
you
there
ain't
he gonna
gotta do
get
no
you.
figuring it out. Yeah, you ain't gotta do no figuring out. When I get to where I'm going, I can tell you exactly how to get there.
Cause if you go that way and go that way, you subject to get got.
Man, man,
You feel me?
man. That's real.
So you ready to start the questions?
Yeah, I am. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, when crafting a story through your lyrics, do you start with a real life event, a fictional concept, or a feeling you want the listener to experience first?
That's a great question. So
I'm telling you.
when crafting lyrics, what do I start with? I would say more times than not, I try to listen to what the beat is telling me, right?
Yeah.
So if the beat is um I try to go off based on how the beat makes me feel.
Yeah.
And then I always like to use like real life scenarios. I can be fictional, but I
Yeah.
don't necessarily like to play in that. But I am definitely like concept based.
Yeah.
So if there's a concept, then that ain't necessarily got to be like my story. I could just speak on that concept, you know. But what I like to do, I like to put a beat on, and then just listen to what the beat's telling me, and then from there, if I'm working with somebody, all right, what's the concept? But if I'm by myself, I'll just like, okay, do I want to tell a story or do I want to come up with a concept? And then sometimes it's just, because I write a lot without beats too. So if
Yeah.
I'm just like trying to, just practice or just get something going, I'll go in my notes and look at what I've been writing and see if, what I've written can go with whatever beat, see if I can find a beat to match the vibe and then just go from there. Um, so yeah, no, it could go
You
either way.
know,
I like to switch it up.
so what's your favorite part of the beat? Is it the drums? Is it the rhythm? Or is it the layout? Uh-huh. See?
It's definitely, I would say rhythm. I would say rhythm, like the vibe. What is the vibe of the beat? Because like you were saying, like you feel everything. Like that's how I am when it comes to music. Like
Yeah.
I feel everything, and I always want to make sure that the words match the feeling. You know, but and then even deeper than that, like the energy.
Yeah.
Like if it's a
Yeah.
if it's a slower beat, then I need to be able to match that energy or take it further,
Yeah.
than where it already is. So no, I definitely like to go off of like the rhythm, the vibe of it all.
I like that you put Atlanta Rising Star.
Yeah,
It's supposed
yeah,
to say something like Atlanta's next star.
yeah. hmm
That's right. Keep it moving. Your songs, if to you they often feel like short films, right?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
So how do you decide what moments are worth capturing in rhythm?
How do I decide which moments are worth capturing? That's a good question. I would say, like with my most recent song, Different Pocket, there's so many different moments to be created. And that's the thing about being like somebody who's good with words, right?
Yeah.
If you're good with words, any of those, like any part of the song can be a moment,
Yeah.
depending on who's listening to it, right? It just depends on who's listening to it. But for me, like with like Different Pocket, for example, like and the bridge going into the second verse, it's like me asking a question, like a rhetorical question. Like, why
Yeah.
would you even think to try me when you know the chance of winning is unlikely? Then I say, back in that mode, you know how I go when I get in that mode. I'm back in that mode. You know how. So it's like understanding like the placement on like a beat, or even
Yeah.
just going back to like the second hook is the same words, but it's a different ooh yeah on the second
Yeah.
ooh
It's a
yeah, right?
it's a different momentum. Yeah.
Right, you,
I
you
get
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So just being able to, I feel like the more that I write and the more that I create music, the more I understand, because
Yeah.
I do have influences, people that I watched and you know, I guess viewed or put their work on a certain level, that has helped shape me into the artist I am. So I think a lot of that has to do with just being there, just understanding like music, because a lot of people just get on there and just say the first thing that come to their mind. You know what I'm
Like
saying? And
like
ain't
like
nothing wrong with that.
like no, no. Like,
but
no, 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 it's hilarious. You ever listen to No
no,
No?
no,
Oh, oh man, No No is hilarious.
you know what I'm saying? So like it's all art at the end of the day. I think it just, again, it goes back to, who's listening, like, and how they create those moments. Because ultimately I can create all the moments I want.
Yeah,
But I think as an artist, my job is to just create the art and then let the consumer create the moments.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, because what you need at the end is the audience. So the
Right.
audience is going to always be your best deciding factor. I always tell people before you introduce anything to any prestigious organization trying to sell it, make sure you sell it to the audience around you first because they're going to be your
Mm.
overall dynamic when it comes to your buying purchase, your buying
Right.
probability
Yeah.
and possibilities.
Yep. Yep. They help you create that leverage.
Yeah. So how do you balance honesty and privacy when pulling for personal life stories?
Mm. How do I balance honesty and privacy when pulling
Yeah.
from? I
You can
mean,
tell some stuff. You can't tell it all though. and how
man, I
and how
think
you tell it when you tell it when you can't tell it,
right,
but
right.
you're trying
Like
to tell it.
so, right. I think that's such a dope question. The balance is crazy because in my first project, Find My Way, I got real personal, but I feel like the way I delivered it, you
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily catch it just because of my delivery. On my song, what's it called? It's the first song on the project called Fleeting Success. I talk about like a situation where, being an athlete, I didn't know before. It wasn't until I got to college that I found out I had the sickle cell anemia trait. I don't have sickle cell anemia, but I have the trait.
Yeah.
And so my body doesn't my muscles and stuff, because they don't get as much oxygen as a regular person, they
Yeah.
shut down quicker, and they don't, like, it takes a while for them to build back up.
Mhm.
And so, like, in that song, I was like real vulnerable and talking about like a situation that happened. One of the procedures that was done while I was in the hospital for 10 days. So you have to listen to the song to actually know what I'm talking about. But
Mhm.
like, I think it really just depends on how I'm feeling, honestly. If I wanna just go off, take it all the way there, I will. But at the same time, I do think there is like a balance. Like, that you do have to draw a line, or at least for me, because I'm not the type that want everybody to know everything about me, even though that's kind of like the age we're living in now. Everybody know
Yeah.
everything about like their favorite artists. I don't think I'll ever get to that point because I feel like my purpose here, a part of my purpose, is like with just the music. Like whatever you want to take from it, you can take from it. But I'm not here to be sharing my whole life with people.
Yeah.
I want to use parts of my story to help you understand that, nothing is impossible. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But
like I
that
said before.
requires openness because a lot of times people can't trust your story if you can't tell it yourself.
For sure, for sure. And I,
Make
I,
sense?
I, I do a damn good job telling my story,
You
but
can't never let
being like
nobody
too
else tell your story.
right, right. But being to the point where I'm just like saying everything,
Oh yeah.
like I don't think I need to. Who
You
knows?
you
Shit, my
you
mind
don't
may
need to
change.
yeah, you don't need to tell everything, but what I'm saying to you is like a lot of times um with music there's something called and also in arts and language. I used to be an arts and cultural commissioner, but what I'm saying to you is in music and arts and language, the arts, the entertainment world, there's something called ethos, pathos, and logos.
Okay.
And each of them share a different type of pathology when it comes to sensitivity.
Mm,
And one appeals to this and one appeals to that and one appeals to this. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes, a
yeah.
lot of times, inside your story fits these dynamics, which draw people in a lot quicker. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
Like if I was to get really buck wild and really tell my story on here, I would have like 1 million followers.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But that's not
Yeah.
what I'm here for. I'm here actually just to direct y'all. So I
Mm.
got so I have a few on YouTube, more on the radio station, and you get what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
other places equal other places. You understand what I'm saying? So you're not just being seen here, but spread out. You get what I'm saying? But if I was like the YouTubers, the dynamics of the way that the YouTubers are.
Right. Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But that's not what I'm here for. So that's
Right.
why I don't mind my growth being so slow.
Hmm. No,
You
for
you
real.
you get what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
want people who really want to be doing something, and I don't
Mm.
want just
Mm.
you know like don't
That's
just
so
roll up
real.
on me with all this old craziness, and you're not really doing nothing, because
Yeah.
then what that
Mm.
becomes is a waste of my time.
Mm.
You know?
You, hey, you speaking truth to power now. Like, I think a lot of what entertainment is becoming now is just like people just want to be nosy. It ain't
Hmm.
even, it ain't even you really trying to do nothing. You just want to know what I got going on so you can compare what you got going on.
Absolutely,
You, you
absolutely,
feel? So you can
absolutely.
compare what you got going on and say whether or not you feel like you can do what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Right.
be able to do it better than you, Punchinella, in a minute.
Right.
So we gonna segue. This rolls right into the next question. What's one story you've written that was hard to tell, but necessary for your growth and healing?
Hmm. That's a good question. Easy one for me though. I would say my single apologies.
Yeah,
Very very emotional track. Produced by Dre Wisdom. I wrote that. I released that last year. I want to say early last year. And the story I tell is about my mom and my grandmother. Who are both deceased. Um, and I'm really vulnerable in the sense that I tell, I say or express just how sorry I am. And with my mom, I'm sorry because she died at 21, and she
yeah,
didn't get to see this life, like what her life was gonna be. It was taken away from her, and I can't imagine being that young, you know what I mean? And already having lived such
yeah,
a fruitful life and done, great things with the time she was here. But um for whatever reason, it was just on my heart to say, like, dang, I'm sorry, like, because I understand, from that situation, just like how precious life is, you
really,
know. Just being that young, man, and losing her life. And then also apologizing to my grandmother. Um, there was I tell the story in a few different songs, and I kind of go into it, and I feel like there's more to it that I need to like go deeper into. But either which way, there was a situation between her and my grandfather, that I talk about in the story or in the song, and you know the way things played out, it was like I was presented with information that I didn't feel like, because I wasn't a part of the situation, that like when she came to me and asked me if I knew, it's like it's not my place to tell you that. So I lied to her. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like I,
yeah,
I didn't know, because like what difference does it make of me knowing, right? Like
yeah,
it wasn't my story to tell, it was my grandfather's story to tell. And so um, I apologize for lying to her.
yeah.
And like the question, I feel like that was something that was definitely necessary for me to grow as a person. Just to be able to, have that therapy session with myself, and get those emotions out, and you know, uh, speak my truth. I think it definitely helped me grow as a person.
I'm gonna tell you two things. One, your mom was your mom was here for a purpose.
Right.
We know God, right?
Right.
And we know God never give you more than what you can handle.
That's right.
She couldn't handle it, bro.
Yeah. It's a tough pill to swallow, man.
I know.
Tough pill to
I'm
yeah,
telling
tough
you,
pill to
because my,
swallow.
my mom was gone real young. Like, like for the
Mm-hmm.
first half of her life, she had been uh, messed up, like for the first half of her life, one of them pretty girls out there and, thinking everybody her friend and her
Mm-hmm.
her the woman that she thought was her best friend wind up giving her some tablets that wasn't BC tablets.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
And,
So now she got an addiction to BC tablets, not knowing that they ain't BC tablets.
mm,
You understand what I'm saying? So the
yeah.
first half of her life just destroyed by a jealous girl. And then the last half, we had her for like maybe 7 years. And then from the first half of her life is what destroyed the next
Second
seven
one.
years. You get
Mm,
what I'm saying? So her
yeah.
liver just shut down, shot, just gone. Just,
Mm,
you feel me?
yeah.
So that's what we had to deal with as children, knowing that somebody harmed my mother intentionally on jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
And then watching the dynamics of that take her down.
And
But knowing how loving she was, even so.
mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like she made sure everybody around her was straight. Even so, even
Yep.
though.
And
You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I recognize that she was here for a purpose. She wasn't here to stay.
Yep.
She was here for a purpose. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it made it a lot easier because I was real young. And like you said, you had granny and them. My grandmother lived all the way in California. My aunts lived in California. I have no aunts. I don't have no sisters. My mother, my only sister.
Mm,
Get what I'm saying? If I have a
yeah.
daughter, who y'all see up on the screen, Miss Jamie Jane,
Mm-hmm.
if I ain't have a daughter, I would have nobody. As
Dang.
far as,
Yeah,
female,
nah, I
women.
understood. Understood.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I know what she put in me though. What she put in me
Mm,
was serious. And
mm,
I know what your mom put into you those 6 years was something dangerous because look at you right here now, built on what grandma put into her.
mm. Talk about it. Talk about it. That's real. That's
You
real,
feel me?
man. That's so real.
You ain't never gotta really apologize to grandma because grandma already know.
She definitely did. She definitely did.
Grandma just want to see who gonna be all right with her.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
people say, if I ask you something, I already know. You get what I'm saying? I just want to see who the fuck gonna say what. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts. Facts.
Cause
Facts.
that determine who I'm gonna leave my damn will with too, though. You get
Mm.
what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Cause I can't leave it with the one I can't trust.
Mm. Mm. So true.
You feel me?
That's real.
My brothers used to always say I was my mom and my dad favorite. Mommy and dad pet. Mommy and dad, 'cause I'm the only girl. So they just figured that it was because I was the girl that I was my parents' favorite. And I used to try to tell them niggas it's not that, my nigga. It's because I'm the one that's gonna do right by mommy and dad.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
We got a different
Real.
kind of bond, my nigga.
Real. They trust me on a different level.
For real, y'all don't want to hear nothing that they got to say. You don't want to sit down and talk to them, learn their story. You don't want to
Mm.
hear them outside of parents. You just want
Mm.
to, reap the
Mm.
benefits of your parents.
Mm.
But you don't even want to know them as people.
Mm.
I'm going to sit down and I'm going to hear the story. I want to know what happened. Because when it's time to
Yep.
defend you, I want to be able to stand firm in my defense of you.
Real.
So I'm going to sit down, I'm going to kick it with you. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Find out what really happened as a person.
Mm. Mm.
You ain't just my mom. I know you was
Yeah.
somebody before me.
Mm. Mm. No, that's real.
You feel me? So that's what I'm saying to you. You know, we grandma already know.
Yeah, she did.
Grandma already know. She know when you drop your head down that she knew the truth right there. Soon as you drop your head down, like I don't want to be in this shit. Grandma knew right then.
Yeah, man. Why y'all bringing me in this, man?
Yeah, for real. Grandma knew right then. She ain't need to hear nothing else. See, now that you older, see when you older, you know better, you do better.
Right. That's right.
Because you know better. You get what I'm saying? When
Hmm.
you know better, you
Yeah.
do better. That's what the word of God be trying to teach us. When you know better, you do better. You know, so when you're a
Right.
child, you do as children do. But when you're an
Mm.
adult,
You got to put away those childish things, huh?
that's right. So
Hmm.
you know, it be time to stand, and those things teach us next step, next step.
Hmm.
Now you at next step, next step. What you gonna do?
Yep. Yep.
You know. Next question. You ready?
Yep. I'm ready. What you got?
Okay. Let me. Um. 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 Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. I done went all the way to the Dawes rules. I done messed up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So tell people why we going on in the middle. Where can
Hmm.
they find your music? Because that's really what we came to talk about. We've gotten off into a whole nother thing, but that's what we came to talk about.
Yeah, my music is available on all streaming platforms. You can just search by my name, Do Dynamic, DUDEDYNAMIK. I also have my music available for purchase on my website under my label. I'm independent right now. That's underdogregime.com, UNDERDOGREGIME.com. I also have merch. Um, as well as like my entire like discography catalog on that website as well. So
Okay.
that's the best way to support an independent artist, with merch and music, being able to buy it directly from me. That money goes directly to me. I also have a Patreon. I just started Patreon a couple weeks ago. You can just look up Dude Dynamic. I have three different tiers. Um, and so yeah, man, if you're looking to support me, you see this video, you're watching this video, that's the best way to support me.
Which legendary storytellers in music, rap or beyond, have influenced the way you narrate your truths?
Um, I would say off the top, J. Cole, I would say Lil Wayne, I
Yeah.
would say Tyler the Creator.
What about
J.
what about
J.
each do you
Cole
like?
because yeah, J. Cole because um of the fearlessness he had coming into the game, with those two mixtapes, Friday Night Lights and the warm up. They were at such a pivotal time in my life. It was a transition of me going from being a high school athlete to being a college athlete. And,
Yeah.
his words just inspired me to the point where I felt like I could run through a wall, and just, being from underprivileged situation, being from humble beginnings, and just defying the odds. You know, it made me feel like I can do it too.
Yeah.
With Lil Wayne, his metaphors and the way he raps just always. When I was younger, like Drop Three was like the mixtape that did it for me. Like it really made me believe I could be different. Like I didn't have to be like everybody else. Like um his words made me feel like I wasn't where I was. They took me to a completely different place. And so when people would see me around, they're like, man, like you in Cordeal, but you in Cordeal, but you not really in Cordeal,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And so that was like a lot of what, older people saw in me. And I feel like it was definitely due to just um the way Wayne would rap and how it inspired me to just be like different. And then with Tyler the Creator, man, a lot of people say they don't give a fuck, but like I really believe that guy when he says he don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And so with Tyler, he inspired me to be unapologetic about whatever story I'm telling, whatever message I have. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it, bro. Like either people gonna be with you or they ain't.
Yeah.
Like
I've never heard one of his songs ever. Not one.
if it's your truth, if it's your truth, then say it, man. Like
I'm gonna have to go check him out. I never
he
listened
has
to
this
Tyler.
song, he has this song called Rusty. Um, that's off of like one of my favorite projects from him, Wolf. And Rusty is just, it's like it's like I know what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
people don't think I know what I'm doing. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you in this song, I'm breaking it down. Like
Yeah.
I get that people, you know, got on to him because he ate a roach, right? Like that's how everybody knew. Oh, he ate a roach in his video, and then he was on some like what do you call it? Like the extremism, right? He
Yeah.
was like the
Yeah.
beginning
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were turned off to him because he would say just outlandish things, but it's like, no, bro, I understand that this is what will get
Shock
your
value.
attention,
Yeah. Shock
right?
value. Yeah.
But it's like, bro, no, I really can rap and I want to rap. Like a lot of people since then have taken that approach just to get attention. Like, no, Tyler
Yeah.
actually wanted to let you know, bro, hey, come listen to my music. Like, no, no, like, come listen. Other people just do it like based off of like just wanting attention, like
Wait, got
he
Johnny
did
Somali ass locked up, didn't it?
it. Like, come on, man. Like he did it with a purpose. It was intention behind it. A lot of people just doing it because they want attention. And so he also has a song called 48 where he samples like this Nas interview. And the concept is him just talking about what drugs did to, the black community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like a lot of people get, or see him for like this crazy, but like when you actually go listen to him,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, he actually has a message. Wow, he actually is a regular person.
Yeah.
He just wants to tell his story, and he wanted to
All of
tell
them are.
you, right? He wanted to tell you bad enough to where he eat a roach.
Yeah,
You
all
know?
of them are like that. You know who else is a person crying out like that in their music, and a lot of people don't really pay them no mind because they be too busy with the mouth, like the people in LA right now asking for help and shit. You get what I'm saying? They running off at the mouth while asking for help. 6ix9ine
Uh-huh.
is a person that's like you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like he
he's
asking for
definitely like,
help,
yeah.
but
Mm,
he be
mm.
he like the people in LA. You talking shit, but you asking for help. How is that?
Yeah, yeah,
You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? Is that sort of dynamic with him where yeah, and I'm gonna whoop at you and but I really need
Hmm.
help. Y'all can hear me.
Yeah,
Yeah, but see, you're
yeah.
not saying it right, bro. You're not saying it right, bro.
Hmm.
Say
Hmm.
I need help.
Yeah, for
You
sure,
can't
for
say
sure.
F you instead of I need help because when you say F you instead of saying I need help, people gonna look at you and say, okay, well F you too, bro, and we out.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then no help comes about. You get what I'm
for
saying?
sure,
And
for
so,
sure.
it's a dynamic that comes with it. And you being the name dude dynamic, I'm certainly sure that you're aware of it.
No, for
Um,
sure.
um, um, um. We got two more questions, I think.
Okay.
Do you view your storytelling as a tool for preserving culture or reshaping it, and how?
Absolutely view my storytelling as a tool of preserving the culture. So I just released a project titled Death to Gun Bars back in January.
Uh-huh.
And that was me going and taking a stance against the industry and saying fuck anybody that's ever rapped about killing black people. Fuck anybody that's ever aided in the dismantlement of what it means to be African American in this country in entertainment specifically.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what anybody done said before or what it means to hip hop. I don't think it belongs there anymore. I don't think us talking about killing each other belongs in hip hop. I don't think
Oh,
it does anything for hip hop.
oh
And I
no,
know
it's
that's
a
what like
wave
the
right
media,
now.
that's what the media is pushing right now, and that's I'm taking a stance against that, drawing a
Oh
line
no.
in the sand and saying fuck all y'all
Oh no, bro.
because why
Wave right now going around. It's not happening. Go ahead. I'm
like
sorry. Go ahead.
like like man, they don't understand how like that disease is really impacting communities like where I'm from.
Yeah.
Like there's a kid who just 19-year-old kid just got shot in the head. It was all
Wow.
over the internet from where I'm from in the projects right up the street from where I grew up.
Yeah.
Got shot in the head. And I want so badly for the youth to understand, bro, you ain't gotta die or go to prison to be considered cool. You ain't gotta tote guns to be
Well,
cool, bro.
can I insert something right now because
Go ahead.
this is a perfect time. And when I was saying to you earlier, no, no, they're not doing that right now. Ever since that hit on Takeoff,
Mm,
see, everybody feel like that. That's how everybody feel in the industry. That's how everybody feel in the industry. That's why you have not heard any music from the fellas on the trap side or anywhere. You have not heard any dynamics from that direction because we tired of it too. Because that was an innocent, talented life,
mm, super talented.
a kind man
Mm,
who ain't hurt nobody.
I ain't mess with nobody, man. I ain't mess with nobody, bro. And
And
that's
and
my
and
whole thing.
and
It's like
all that take y'all to a purpose to hit a man ain't did nothing to nobody. Y'all gonna hurt her.
mhm,
So the dynamics in the radio companies have changed. Y'all, all that stuff is a liability. That's not even being accepted anymore. That's why you don't
and
hear any music out right now.
mhm,
If you can't go beyond that, then you're probably not gonna hit the airwaves and you're probably not gonna get a contract real strong right now.
mm. Nah,
They're
it's
looking
real.
for people. They're angry, because they can't understand why is Kendrick, up right now, but they're looking for somebody to bring it up a little bit further.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was in the gutter for a long time. It was just
And
wading in the
straight
water.
trash can, straight
Yeah,
trash can,
I'm
man.
telling you, it was wading in the water, bro. Like a dirty
Um,
diaper hit the ground. That's how rap was for the last 10, 11 years, 12 years. It been like a dirty diaper on the ground. Y'all know how them little dirty diapers split in half and be hanging from the ground. You be looking at it like, look at this saggy ass diaper. That's the way hip hop has been
mm,
for the last
yeah,
12
I
years.
agree. I agree. And with the project, it was like me taking that part of music and burying it,
Yeah.
extinguishing it
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it doesn't belong, right? And like, bro, like I say like I don't have to rap and I still made it out the hood, right? Like there's
Yeah.
more than there's more. You said this earlier. There's more to life than the environment you were born
Yeah.
in. And until we can wrap our minds around that concept of just going further and not being afraid, it's the pride that restricts us. Because
Yeah.
in a small town like where I'm from, once you get to a point where you did good enough to where you were like the good college athlete, or not college athlete, but the high school athlete, and everybody knows you. You had the girls, everybody knows you.
Yeah.
There's a level of or a certain level of comfort that sets in, and then it starts to turn into pride,
Yeah.
and you don't see yourself being bigger than what you were or what you were able to attain in high school because you're afraid that if you were to do something else, it wouldn't go the same way. You'd be a small fish in a big pond, as opposed to
Yeah.
being a big fish in the small pond.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is one of the reasons to why like people settle. And then with that, staying in those environments, well, it ain't really much to do. So if everywhere you go is the hood, then everybody ain't got the type of mind I got and can, be around, your homies and stuff like that and not be on the stuff they own. Like I was able to hang around my homies growing up in high school, not smoke or drink,
Yeah.
and I didn't judge them for doing what they did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everybody ain't got that kind of mind. So me saying all that to say, like, you staying in that environment, you're more than likely gonna fall victim to it.
Yeah.
And so it just becomes a repeating cycle. And then you end up in trouble when you ain't even that type of guy. You weren't even raised to be like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because you're in that environment and you don't want people to look at you a certain way or somebody tried you, then people start to lose their lives.
That's why I said to you, you have the perfect name because it's the dynamics of it all.
Yep, absolutely.
You get me?
Absolutely. So
You
yeah, I
got. That's why I
definitely.
said that when I first said that to you. I was like, that's a good name because the dynamics of it all,
Yeah.
and you can use that as a metaphor even as you rapping because you use your name dynamic and then you could use dynamic 1,000 kind of ways in a song
Yep.
after that
Yep.
because
Right.
these are the dynamics of this, these are the dynamics of this. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And this right here equal this, and then 5 by 6 equal 12. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you understand?
Yeah.
So
No,
you
I
can
feel I
use
feel
it
like
in
that's
so many
actually
ways.
I feel like that's actually a nice project name. The dynamic of it all. The dynamics of it all.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a nice project name. You might be onto something with that.
And now I'm gonna show you a set of people that had took the dynamic of it and didn't go the route that everybody wanted them to go, but still explain to you that we do this shit every day.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know the group?
No.
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. I've heard that name. I'm not familiar with that work.
I am everyday people.
Oh, okay. Definitely know that song.
Uh-huh.
Definitely know that song.
You know that song.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Window. Mr. Window, yeah. Remember Mr. Window? Mr. Window
Nah,
got all these
definitely remember
things.
Everyday People.
Yeah, check Mr. Window out and listen to the song. Mr. Window
Okay.
got all these different things going on, but in the end, Mr. Window is just like me and you.
Mm,
You know? They
yeah.
made Tennessee. Lord, I feel real pressed, down and out, losing rest. Although I am black and proud, problems got me pessimistic. Brothers and sisters keep acting tough. Why does it have to be so damn rough? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
you feel me? So listen to
it's been going
Tennessee,
on. Yeah.
yeah, by Arrested Development, and then listen to Mr. Wendell, and then you'll understand how they took the dynamic of the everyday struggle
Mm, okay.
and created something dynamic with it
Okay. I'll do that. I'll
without
do that.
disrespecting us. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like pointing
Right.
shit out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I know I'm a
Subtly.
black man, but I keep being challenged by this nigga. Brothers on the corner
Mm,
playing ghetto games. Take me
mm,
to another place. Take me to another land.
mm.
Make me forget all that hurts me. Let me understand your plan. You feel me?
Yeah.
So they took the dynamic of the everyday struggle and not only that, but the historical struggle. And they
Mm,
turned it into a whole dynamic thing that can never be undone. And that's
mm-hmm.
what I always want for y'all is that, for your greatest project for to be something that can't be undone.
Mm. No, I definitely feel like that about Death to Gun Bars. And a lot of people like the first song on there called Militant. And then they also like not the same. And again, it's just using the message to say something that people are afraid to say. And I think that's another reason why we get caught up in like the cycle too, because we're afraid of what other people we're too caught up on what others think of us.
Yes. Yeah.
In
Opinion.
our community,
I
yeah,
was
in
gonna
our
say that when you said
mm,
that the other time. I was gonna say that. Sorry for cutting you off. I'm gonna let you go right back. But I was gonna say that when you were saying that before. I was gonna say to you because somebody said. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
because somebody said, or because somebody will say, not even somebody said,
I'm just
what
saying.
somebody could say.
I'm just saying.
You feel me? Like we gotta get out of that mentality, and that goes back to why I love like somebody like Tyler Creator so much because he's a black kid from California.
Yeah.
Hey, tell me why he ain't gang banging. All the black people in California gang bang. No, he wanted to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have easily been a gang banger, but nah, he wanted something different, and he wasn't afraid to go after it. And so that's what I want people to understand with the message and Death to Gumball is like, man, not only is this a tool that can help you understand more about yourself and want to discover who you are as a person,
Yeah.
but it's gonna keep you out of trouble, man. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I don't even know why a lot of these dudes doing all this killing. Like, ain't we supposed to be getting money? What happened to getting money?
You got $3 more than me.
What
That
happened to getting money? Oh,
because
you was
that
talking to my girl?
no, that was
Oh,
my
you
customer. I'm just
man.
saying. I'm just saying.
Mm,
They
mm.
want everybody to have a blind loyalty and stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And because you
Blind
need to have a
loyalty.
blind loyalty, even though
Mm.
you might be dead wrong, you still want me to take your side for it, which goes back and tilts and pivots back to granddad. You know what I'm saying? So then now instead of me having to deal, I got to drop my head in shame.
Mm.
Blind loyalty.
Man, blind loyalty.
Yeah, we keep that up in the
Interesting
hood.
concept.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we keep that up in
interesting
the hood all the
concept.
time. You know,
Like,
they used to
yeah,
tell me stuff
yeah.
like Tosh, snitches get stitches. At him, I said, then don't do that shit around me, cause I'm gonna
On
probably
God,
tell.
I'm telling on you. If somebody thinking
Yeah,
I
don't
did it
for
and I
real.
ain't do
For,
it, I'm telling them
yeah,
who
don't
did
do
it.
that
I
shit
don't
around me.
care.
Don't do
I
it
don't
around me, cause
care.
I'm gonna
I have
probably
a
tell.
reputation to uphold. I'm
For
an
real,
upstanding citizen.
for real.
It's
So we
already
we
hard enough being black, and you want me to come on take up for you when I ain't even had nothing. Man, come on. All right.
we have blind loyalties and stuff. You get what I'm saying? That we walk
Yeah.
into blindly and then get caught up in the midst of it. And then when you don't get caught up in the midst of it, usually you the one to get hit.
Innocent bystander.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You usually the one that get hit. Why? Because you won't choose a side. I'm saying, but I ain't on
Mm,
nobody's side. What the fuck you mean?
mm, mm.
I'm on my side.
Right. I'm standing with myself.
Yeah. And ain't nobody can deliver me but God. So I'm on God's side.
Mm,
Whatever God say
mm.
go, that's how it's gonna be with me.
Talk
So,
about it.
y'all can get mad all you want to. But I'm usually 9 out of 10 gonna choose God's side. And God's side is right or wrong. Either you right or you
Right.
wrong. Come on with that. Stop
Exactly. Ain't no
stop
blind loyalty on. Hey, no respect the
that shit.
person. No
For real.
respect the person.
For
When it come to
real.
God, it don't matter. You gonna tell the truth or you ain't.
That's usually the nigga get hurt in the hood.
Mm.
How do you, just like Christ? How do you structure a storytelling a track differently from a traditional banger or freestyle? Is there a formula you follow?
I don't have a formula. I really just be like, so like I got a couple freestyles that are like going viral on the internet. I did one over the explosive beat or like the bag lady,
Yeah, yeah.
Dr. Dre beat, and then I did one over like the Maya featuring Jay-Z.
That boom,
Um,
boom, 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 boom. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And with both of those, man, it was just like, man, I want to say the hardest shit I can possibly say. But still tell my story at the same time. It's like one of those beats where you really can't mess it up. So it's like I want every bar to be hard. Like I
Yeah.
could have took it easy, but I know like the people that's come before me and have rapped on it, I gotta get to that level. And you
Yeah.
know, I wanted those to be those discovery moments. That's like the concept I had in my mind. Like these have to be like when somebody discovers Dude Dynamic, they heard the him over the explosive beat. They heard him over the
Yeah.
best of
Yeah.
me beat. Um, with any of like different pocket, that was just believe it or not, man. I just was inspired to make a song with this guy. He's an A&R at Sony. I met him at a and I'm saying my guy Faro Jaro, I met him at like a artist showcase with
Yeah.
Bigger Rankin in Tampa Mystic. He came up to me like, man, you dope, like XYZ, like let's work. And you know how I
Yeah.
go like with music, like a lot of people like, man, let's work. They see, and
Yeah.
it never goes anywhere after that. But he was such a genuine person after that. We had a conversation, just about like, the industry and where I saw myself and XYZ. And I told him like, man, I'm gonna go through your beats. And that was like one of the first beats I heard, put it on. I was on my lunch break. I was eating some Chick-fil-A and I was like, this
Yes.
is
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
And then I just started singing. I just started
Yeah.
singing. I just started singing, and that's how you got it. It's a different, like it's crazy. And I wrote that during my lunch break, and I went, a few days after that, crafted it, made sure it like all went together. But I
Yeah.
started writing that during my lunch break, and um, again, I just always default on telling my story, man. Like you can't go wrong with that because can't nobody tell your story the way you tell it.
Yeah.
And so I'm always gonna put my fingerprint on a song and stamp it that way, just because can't nobody speak, to it the
Yeah.
way I do.
I get it. I'll
Hmm.
I understand because I'm one of New York's hottest poets, and that it used to come like that for me too. Like, but it was one song I think that um we were challenged to write a poem to, and it was Ashanti's "When You Call" beat.
Mm,
That boom boom
always
boom
there when
boom
you
boom boom.
call. Yeah.
Yeah, boom boom
Mm-hmm.
boom boom. Cause it go
Mm-hmm.
boom ba boom ba boom ba boom, and
Mm-hmm.
every with every beat, we had a challenge of the alphabet of making a poem which matched the beat, but it actually had sang the alphabet. So for every beat, I heard something different. And
Mm-hmm.
my alphabet turned into what they couldn't understand, but it became really famous.
Yeah, yeah.
And so by the time we got, A for the art of spirituality, and then go B, it enables me to be Tosh B, and C Tosh B desires the truth. D, you see how I skip the
Mm-hmm.
D?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I come right back with the D, devoid of all
Mm-hmm.
trouble. I don't got a sweet tooth, and everything that comes to me is you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it just keep rocking right on through. They was like, damn, how you rock that? But they forget I'm a DJ at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. I'm a DJ first.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta let them know. Gotta let them know.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna know
Yeah.
how to drop and rock that beat because I'm a DJ
Come
first.
on, man. Come on, man. Stop playing.
You get what I'm saying? So it's always been one of the funner parts for me when I listen to other people's rhythms and the way that people twist and turn the lyrics, and all that
Yeah.
stuff is fascinating for me. I love to see
Yeah.
people make up and create as they go along. And that's, we've been here on this planet in this area so long called America that we have no other choice but to be creative in order to be joyful.
Talk about it.
You understand? So that's why
Talk
y'all
about
see
it.
all boots on the ground and everybody out there parking. We got to do something to be joyful here. And
Mm,
usually for us, it's music and creativity.
that's right.
You understand? But that's how God
Nah.
moved too. So we know who the chosen people are. Master your craft is my suggestion. Consistently shape and sharpen your skills.
Yeah,
Study
for
your
sure.
genre.
Yeah.
Study your genre. And the reason why I said that is because I gave you a dynamic crew, but in your youth, you're not yet journeyed into those places because Tyler Creator. Now, if you say Tyler Creator, I would have countered with Guru
Mm-hmm.
from
Yeah. Yeah.
Gangstar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a perfect storyteller,
Yeah.
or what's my guy's name? Smith and Wesson.
Mm-hmm.
I would have countered with Smith and Wesson, or the song about Renee. You get
Okay.
what I'm saying? That I knew one
Yeah.
day, you know, that I
Yeah.
met down in John Jay. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So study your genre so that you know how to not just hit them from the youth perspective, because a lot of old heads still listen to hip hop. Why? Because we created it.
Mm. Facts. I know. I know.
So you still see old heads out there still getting it. They be 70, 80
Yep.
years old because they
Yep.
created it. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they
Yep.
want to hear it rock to a point where they ain't got to say, man, turn that off. Put something else on.
Mm-hmm.
See, because those be buyers too.
Facts. That's
Right? Because
man.
streamers is buyers.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yep. 100.
Streamers still give you a couple dollars here and there. You feel what I'm saying? So you want to keep them in the know-how, just like you want to keep the young bucks. So, you want to keep, your practice performance up, and, seek feedback from even the elders, even as the youth, because
Yep.
the blending of the genres is going to be what keep you masterfully building and with respect.
That's real.
You feel
That's
me?
real.
Build authentic relationships, network with integrity. You are a dynamic interviewee. I've had such a
Mhm.
wonderful time talking to you, and for me,
Likewise.
I like to be able to go up and down a level. You get what I'm saying? Like, because
Mm-hmm.
there's dimensions. There's 2Ds, which is flat. There's 3Ds, which is around, but there's 4D and 5D, which is spiritual and dimensional. So I
Mm-hmm.
like to be able to go into the different realms and come back so that you understand it, and it lets me know that you're aligned
Mm-hmm.
correctly
Mm.
on the inside. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because if you
Yep.
ain't aligned correctly, your ass gonna crash land somewhere.
Talk about it. Talk
You feel
about
me?
it.
You gonna
Yep.
brick wall somewhere, and then I'm gonna be fucking hurt because, man, this nigga here. You feel me?
Yep. Yep.
So that's why you see me going into your internal and your external media outlets, fans and fellow artists, open more doors than clout chasing. But
Facts.
we already talked about
Hey,
that.
hey, well, that's what this hat say. Clout is overrated. Shout out to my boy Benny Fame, man. Clout
See,
is overrated, people. And
see,
one of my one of my most popular songs like to perform, or like people like to see me perform, is called Hard Times. The last line in that in my hook, it says clout, the only thing they checking for, what happened to respect.
ain't no more of
Like,
that. They don't want that.
man, people don't respect skill no more.
These girls got they whole behind out the bottom of their shorts. You can see they whole pooty poo and everything. You ain't even got to ask them to take their clothes off no more. They done showed you the print of they pooty poo, how they pooty poo stand up from the back. They twerked over and got their tail in your face and stuff. And whether it's shaved or clean, or they just, you get what I'm saying. So it's not about respect anymore. It's about
Mm,
popularity.
mm. And they don't understand that respect is permanent.
Yeah,
Clout is temporary.
yeah.
It's temporary. And that's why it's overrated, man. Like, and people don't want to take the respect route because it take a little bit longer. You talked about that. I don't care about it taking a little bit longer for me, because I know when it happens for me, it's gonna stick.
Yeah, it's thorough.
Oh man. Everybody want the microwave,
Absolutely.
instant gratification. Don't nobody want what we talked about it. Everybody want blind loyalty.
Hmm.
They don't want nobody to give them any constructive criticism. Everything they do gotta be fire. Everything they do gotta be right.
And
Like,
I'm
you
I'm
can't
messed
even
up because
talk
I
to
be like
people,
that.
bro.
That shit don't sound right at all. I'm a person that'll tell you straight up, no, that's whack.
And
So
me too, me too, and I'm gonna stand on it too. I'm gonna say it
yeah,
with
yo, no,
love
that's
too.
that's
Like
yeah, that's whack. Yeah,
this is coming from a place of love, brother. Like I'm
yeah.
supposed to challenge you if I love you, brother. Sister, I'm supposed to challenge you. I ain't just supposed to let you sit up there and be stupid, look stupid.
Like the
That make
big
me
heavy
look
dude,
stupid.
like the big heavy dude with 50 Cent. Did y'all see that the other day when 50 was looking at him? He was trying to give him a song to listen to. 50 was just there like, damn. Like, I would cry and laugh. And I said, right? Who's these dudes up? Who pushed y'all up there like that? Stop doing that. Tell them stop doing
Exactly.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because they push him up for the kill, man. And that's what I don't like. For a couple dollars, they'll push a lot of people up for the kill, though. You get what I'm saying?
They real, man. That's so
Yeah, and it's,
real.
it's to get them in the studio. It's to get the studio money. You know what I'm saying? It's all a hustle.
Mm.
They set them up for the kill. But visibility and consistency equals momentum.
Hmm.
Learn the business.
Yeah,
Study contracts, royalties, marketing, and monetization strategies.
for
There's,
sure.
right now, there's so many different ways for y'all to get monetized on different
Uh-huh.
platforms. All you need is this
Yeah.
amount on this way, this amount on this way. So you have to make a game plan to make sure that you have several funding ways and opportunities.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep. No
Um,
streaming income. Yep. Sources of income.
a successful career isn't just about talent, it's about knowing how to protect and profit from it.
Mm.
So remember that as you going along. And those are my suggestions because you already, thorough enough. If you want to go a little further, get you a entertainment lawyer, so that you could take it to a different depth because he'll start negotiating
Hmm.
on your behalf. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
And
sure.
and
For sure.
that way, whichever direction that you trying to go right now, it'll that'll help your lawyer or help you be able to go that
Yeah.
direction. And
Yeah.
make sure that you have a strong team. I know that Kelby got you over there on the sideline, right? Because Kelby is pretty thorough when he do what he do.
Hmm.
So Kelby's a Leo,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, Leo people are go getters. You
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? Like he's gonna Leo people are money people. They make money easy.
Yep. No, he's definitely good people, man. I've definitely very thankful for the opportunity he gave me, with just being a member, and the different positions he was able to put me in. And it led me to, connecting with somebody like yourself,
Yeah.
So I saw you in the magazine. I was like, man, I'm in the magazine. Let me go look at this magazine. And I'm,
Yeah.
going through the page. I'm like, oh man, these are the people that Kelby stamping in the back of the book. Let me go see, because I know Kelby, me, and the way we connected, it was like genuine. So I
Yeah.
know he ain't just putting anybody in this book.
No.
You know what I
No.
mean?
No.
So
Definitely not anybody.
right, right. And
Yeah.
so, I'm so
I do
glad that
play anybody though on this channel though. I do. You know what I'm saying? I do. I try to be just, anybody.
Mhm,
I really don't flex as much as I could flex.
yeah,
You
yeah,
get what I'm
nah,
saying? Because
for
I'd
sure,
rather be just anybody right now. You feel what I'm saying?
for
Because
sure, for sure.
in order to help us with each other, sometimes we can't be more than anybody. We just gotta be somebody trying to
Mm.
tell somebody about somebody.
Right, right. And I'm so thankful that I reached out to you. This was a great interview. I appreciate you having me and taking time out of your day to fellowship with me. Let me tell my story. I'm so also thankful to hear about you and your story, where you came from, how you grew up, and the experiences that have brought you to doing this show. So no, very thankful, man. I appreciate your time.
No, I thank you even more so because, without you, the show couldn't be as interesting. Without your information and your story, my show couldn't be interesting. So I'm always more thankful to the guest than me. This
Mhm,
platform is designed for you guys.
mhm.
this is what is designed for us to be able to kick it, share a little knowledge here and there, and even laugh about some old silly ass shit as we go along. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
this show can get quite silly, you know. 'Cause
Yeah.
I come, like I said to you, I come from all brothers. I have all brothers. You
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? This is so
Yeah.
a little dude like what still I'm still feminine as a woman, but I could get a
Hmm.
little
No,
dude
I
like
get
to
it.
say some
I get
stuff.
it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
I be just saying some dude shit. You be like, what the hell? Like, and it'll take you by surprise. But it's
Hmm.
because I was raised by my father and my brothers.
Hmm.
And,
For sure.
I used to always tell my boyfriends that growing up. I said, don't get mad at me. You know, mad at me because I said fuck you, but my dad said fuck you too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm
my,
just doing what my daddy said, so I can say it. What you mean,
no,
man?
my dad said, my dad said, fuck that nigga. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? You feel
Right.
me, right?
Yep.
So
Hmm.
don't get mad at me. Go take that out on my dad.
Exactly.
My dad said that. That wasn't me. But bro, I thank you. We're gonna wrap our interview up. I so thank you.
Yep.
Uh
Likewise.
and
Likewise.
remember, if she talking junk like that and she got a father on the side, it was probably her dad or her brothers that had said that. Don't get
Mm,
mad. She rough like that because she got boys around her.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I always say to my black men before they become passport bros, don't be angry about such a good job you did on your own women.
Mm.
Like y'all raised these women that y'all talking about.
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Y'all raised these women. How y'all expect these women to grow up with you, be around you, be your greatest ally growing up, and then y'all expect her to be something different? Then why did she grown? Now she grown. Now you want her to be something different, but that's what you raised. Don't be angry with yourself for doing such a good damn job.
Mm. 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 That's real. That's real.
Like, take a look in the mirror.
That fruit don't fall too far from the tree,
For
man.
real. It's no way possible that you can look in your woman face and understand that my woman act like me.
Facts. No, that's facts. That's facts, bro. That's facts.
They women act
That-
like them. Them niggas is soft and squishy and shit and lovable. So they women gonna be soft and squishy and lovable. You get what? Your woman a fucking warrior like you. You get what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right. Nah, it's real. That's
And
real,
I ain't
man.
never for the life of me, I'm gonna leave you with this because I said we do laugh on this show, but I ain't never for the life of me. I don't know what's going on out here in these here streets. Because when I was growing up, a man wanted something nice and soft laying up underneath him. I don't know what's all this old hard gym body shit they talking about now, but let me go.
All right.
Hey, what? I'm just saying. When I was
God
growing
damn.
up, when you pull it back, you want something soft up on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's all that mean. Something hard on your body stuff. I don't.
That is kind of crazy to think about, but yeah, we can close it there. We can close it there.
I'm just saying. Dude, dynamic. Because we laugh on this shit.
No, that's definitely funny. That's funny as hell.
Brother man, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Make sure you enjoy your wonderful day. And thank you again, uh, dude, for coming back through. And please forgive me for my dynamics yesterday. But I thank you so much for coming back today. You're very appreciated.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Likewise, appreciate the time. Like I said, appreciate us being able to lock in, and get some good content. It's a good time today.
Yes, and we'll do it
Yep.
soon enough. Just drop your music and let me know, and I'll put it up on the board so everybody can check it out. Okay, you drop me a
Okay.
flyer or something saying where it's at, where it dropped, where it's at, and I'll put it on
Okay.
the community board, and that way it'll stay there for a while. Okay.
For sure. For sure. I appreciate your time, Miss Tashby.
All right. I thank you, sir.
Take
God
it easy.
bless. Y'all know we always have a good old time over here, and we all a person in the building, because I like to have fun with him too, and we always do. So we just like to thank Dude Dynamic one more again for coming through, and I'll have something for y'all next week. I haven't put anything together yet, because I really just wanted to apologize for the last couple of weeks that I haven't been here, because I've been kind of tied up and busy. But I'm gonna get untied in a hot second, y'all. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get untied, and then we'll be back. Y'all know how I do. Y'all
Fresh out
know.
of the freezer. Fresh, guess I was freezed up. Fresh out of the deeper freezer, cause I'm deeper than any voice on speakers. I can't hear y'all haters, you gotta speak up. I don't need to slow down, I need to speed up. Anonymous activity, Bobby B stuff. Jealousy's